Tonight on CTV News, air quality warnings for much of BC.
It's heavy and it's very dense.
Feel a little fatigued this morning, a little tired from the air.
Thick haze blankets the south coast, giving Vancouver a dubious distinction of most polluted major city in the world.
It's frustrating when you come in and it's the beginning of your day and you have to clean up somebody else's mess.
Fed up in the Fraser Valley, serial illegal dumping, what security video reveals about a persistent problem.
Several days in a row, anyhow, I was in the park accessing picnics.
Bear scare on Burnaby Mountain, part of the park, now off limits. A warning about this picnic crashing animal.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news. The Coquihalla Highway has been closed in both directions between Hope and Merritt because of a growing wildfire. Officials say the fire reached the highway around 4:30 this afternoon. It's exploded to 500 hectares and is burning on a steep slope west of the Coquihalla, about 45 kilometers northeast of Hope. It's one of dozens of fires in BC and south of the border that's created what everyone's talking about today, the thick smoke over Metro Vancouver. CTV's Kevin Chirac has that part of the story.
The North Shore Mountains covered in a smoky haze. Burnaby skylines barely visible, and many could feel it.
Definitely more tired. Yes, definitely more tired. Feel a little fatigued this morning, a little tired from the air.
It's heavy and it's very dense.
Some more used to it than others.
The thing is, to be honest, I'm from India, and India's air quality is way worse.
Officials say smoke coming from a surge of wildfires burning north of Hope, the Cariboo region, the U.S., and near Whistler has blanketed much of the region.
Metro Vancouver has issued an air quality warning for fine particulate matter for Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley due to wildfire smoke.
For most of the day, Vancouver ranked as the most polluted major city in the world, according to IQAir.com.
Some people may have more severe symptoms like difficulty breathing or a tight chest. If you're having severe symptoms from wildfire smoke, please seek medical care.
There are now more than 150 fires burning across the province, with thousands of lightning strikes and scorching weather fueling the flames.
The risk of new wildfire starts and week-over-week growth remains a serious issue for much of the province.
And officials warning the smoke could linger for days.
Weather forecasters are saying that the smoke is going to be a major factor in the next 24 to 72 hours.
Experts say most people's minor symptoms, including sore throat or a mild cough, should go away when the smoke leaves, but young children, seniors, and people with respiratory issues are considered particularly vulnerable and should be extra careful.
Kevin Chirac joins us now. Kevin, what are officials saying people should do to protect themselves from the smoke?
Quite a bit, Mi Jung. The list includes avoiding strenuous activity outdoors, drinking lots of water, closing your windows and doors if it's not too hot. Also, you really want to be trusting your body, knowing your body. So if it's too much outdoors, you want to go inside. And if you have an air purifier, that helps. Also an N95 mask, that could also help mitigate the symptoms. Mi Jung, send it back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. There are now 155 fires burning in BC, with 56 listed as out of control. That includes 5 new lightning-sparked fires discovered today, including one near Pemberton. Evacuation orders are in place in the Cariboo region, where the Beef Trail Creek wildfire has grown to 7,800 hectares in size in just 1 week. That is about 17 Stanley parks. 2 of 3 hikers who went over a waterfall while hiking near Kimberley have been found dead. The trio were hiking Meechin Falls on Labor Day when authorities received a GPS SOS notifying them of an emergency. A 68-year-old woman's body was found that day. About halfway down the falls, a 35-year-old woman's body has since been located. The third hiker, a 35-year-old man, is presumed dead, though efforts continue to find him. An investigation is ongoing, but the deaths are not considered suspicious. of government workers on the picket lines and no sign of progress being made in negotiations. In what could be a season of job action across BC, other unions are watching carefully. CTV Legislative Bureau Chief Rob Buffum has the story.
More than 2,000 government workers remain on the picket line, just a fraction of BCGEU public service employees taking strike action for better wages.
Everyone knows that the cost of living has gone up.
And more workers may well hit the picket lines. The BC Employers Union represents various jobs ranging from administrators to wildfire fighters to liquor store staff.
You know, we're not going to reveal our strike strategy, but what we will say is this will definitely expand and escalate if government doesn't come to the table with a fair offer.
Wednesday, there were picket lines at 9 locations across BC, 7 in Victoria, 1 in Prince George, and 1 again at this ICBC Centre in Surrey, where customers were not permitted to renew their licenses. Meanwhile, outside the Royal BC Museum in Victoria, many tourists were turned away from seeing the sights.
Well, we might have done, yeah. We've got a couple of hours to kill here, so yeah, it might have been a good idea.
This job action could be the first of many this fall, with multiple public sector unions' contracts expired.
In some sense, this is the tip of the labor iceberg, if you like.
BCGEU wants 8.25% pay hikes in the next 2 years. The province is countered with 3.5%. What happens here could affect everything from BC's teachers to nurses, both renegotiating deals this fall.
A fair wage for all teachers across the province.
We are and have been for months preparing for negotiations.
BC's finance minister issued a statement Wednesday noting, "We must acknowledge the reality that BC finds itself in right now, with a limited fiscal position and strong economic headwinds. The impacts of the U.S. trade war are being felt across Canada, and we must make decisions based on what's best for all British Columbians." Asked how long workers may strike, the union's president said Wednesday, "As long as it takes." Robert Buffum, CTV News, Victoria.
An update now on the potential labor dispute at Hullo Ferry. The BC Ferry and Marine Workers Union, which represents Hullo Ferry workers, will be meeting with the company tonight after employees voted heavily in favor of job action. 91% of the 80 unionized workers voted in favor of a strike. This comes after talks between the two sides broke down. The union still has to give 72-hour strike notice before walking off the job. It says the vote sends a clear message to the employer.
We began last year polling membership, and that polling has continued up and through last week. And what we've heard consistently was compensation, wages and benefits, scheduling, so knowing and being able to plan your life.
The union has been seeking its first collective agreement with Hullo for almost a year now. In a statement, Hullo Ferry says its most recent proposal includes competitive compensation and enhanced benefits, which is a step toward a shared goal. Some tense moments on a BC ferry sailing this afternoon as crews rescued a person who went overboard. BC Ferry says the Spirit of Vancouver Island was stopped near Tsawwassen after reports of a passenger who had gone overboard on the 1 p.m. sailing to Swartz Bay. A second ferry, the Queen of New Westminster, quickly joined the rescue. Crew members deployed the rescue boats and located the person, who was rushed to hospital in stable condition. Sailings along the major route have been delayed by an hour as a result. An investigation is underway after a fatal stabbing in East Vancouver. Officers were called to a home near Fraser and East 6th just before 1 a.m. Police say the 54-year-old victim died before he could be taken to hospital. No arrests have been made, and it's unknown if the victim and suspect knew each other. Anyone with information is asked to call the VPD homicide unit. Overdoses have spiked in the past week, with 911 calls for help skyrocketing. A notorious drug is once again infiltrating supplies across the country, including here in BC. CTV's Penny Daflos has the details.
Vancouver's downtown east side has been a symbol of drug use for years, but an estimated 225,000 British Columbians use illicit drugs, and they're all at higher risk right now, whether they live downtown or in the burbs or a small town.
Drug poisonings are again increasing in British Columbia. Particularly, we've seen non-fatal events increasing over the summer with a substantial spike last week.
BC Emergency Health Services tell CTV News last week saw a 50% surge in 911 calls for overdose compared to the week before. The coroner's service hasn't seen an increase in deaths. In Vancouver Coastal Health, a drug alert is in place after testing of these tablets sold as hydromorphone found benzodiazepine and a fentanyl analog precursor. In Fraser Health, overdoses are being blamed on the reemergence of carfentanil, a veterinary anesthetic up to 100 times stronger than fentanyl.
If a person has a higher dose of it that they've received, additional doses of naloxone might be required.
Since the spring, Edmonton health officials have seen a dramatic increase in opioid-related deaths.
There was carfentanil in his drug, and that's a death sentence.
Carfentanil has once again been detected in Alberta, Ontario, and Saskatchewan, where they've also seen a surge of overdoses in the past week.
Fentanyl is already so strong that, naloxone really has to work hard to reverse it. And when we look at carfentanil, it has to work even harder.
Naloxone kits are free through many programs in BC, and there's online and in-person training to use them.
Because it's so important to provide breaths and continue to give that person oxygen while waiting for the naloxone to start to work.
Those who survive an overdose may have heart or brain damage and other health complications. Penny Duffloss, CTV News, Vancouver.
The race to find a new federal NDP leader is underway, although no candidates have officially thrown their hats in the ring. As CTV's Ben Milger reports, some of the rules governing the race will likely generate attention as the party looks to reinvent itself.
We had really good candidates that lost tonight.
Jagmeet Singh stepped down after a dismal performance by New Democrats in April's federal election. Reduced to just 7 seats, the NDP has lost official party status. But as parliamentarians get ready for the fall sitting in Ottawa, the New Democrats have launched their leadership campaign. Interim leader Don Davies sees it as an opportunity for the party
to reimagine a strong progressive federal option, one that brings voices to Parliament, working people, marginalized Canadians, people whose interests and voices are often forgotten.
No candidates have declared, but the rules are out. The entry fee is $100,000, and to get their name on the ballot, hopefuls must gather signatures from 500 party members. One rule stipulates at least 50% of the total required signatures must be from members who do not identify as a cis man.
I think it's important that a modern political party reach out and require leadership candidates to talk to the full array of Canadian culture in our society, and so I think it's a good thing.
Political observers say while that particular rule may offend some, it's unlikely many objections will come from party faithful.
I think it opens the NDP up from criticisms from outside sources that might dismiss the NDP for making these divisions or being too woke or whatever pejorative they may want to use. I'm not sure that, as I say, New Democrats will be terribly fussed by it.
The party will vote for the new leader in a ranked ballot format at a convention in Winnipeg in March of next year. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
An Abbotsford family business is fed up and desperate for answers. Their property has become a target for illegal dumping, a problem that's happening about once a week. They set up a camera to try to catch the culprits, and tonight we are getting a good look. CTV's Dimitra Maragos reports.
After the long weekend, Emma McCauley from Future Climate Refrigeration says the last thing she wanted to do was clean up after someone else.
You're watching this on the camera and you're like, I gotta deal with that tomorrow, and it's not even my mess.
Caught on camera Monday evening, you can see a man pulling into the parking lot of the family-run business and
just throwing it around and it's flying.
Trash spread out throughout the parking lot, which included underwear, clothing, kids' toys, and kitchen appliances.
It was pretty gross.
McCauley says despite having clearly labeled signage and cameras, it hasn't deterred people from leaving their garbage here.
So once a week, someone will drive up here and dump their own garbage in our bins.
She added in the last year they have had around 50 instances of people leaving their trash on their property.
We pay for them for our stuff, and yet they're full of other people's crap.
They tried adding a lock, but the issue remained.
They'll cut the locks that we have on the dumpsters, and they'll jump right into the dumpster, and they'll take stuff out, and they'll just leave it here for us to clean up.
They say they're not sure what else to do.
You know, we don't want your garbage there.
CTV reached out to Abbotsford Mayor Ross Siemens. He emphasized the importance of reporting illegal dumping. In a statement, he says, in part, if there is a record of the license plate for the person illegal dumping, by law, services can issue a warning or education and/or fines as warranted. Macaulay says even though they've cleaned up Monday's mess,
it's frustrating.
The stench of others' entitlement still remains.
This is how we make a living for ourselves and our families, and people just don't care.
Demetri Marigo, CTV News, Abbotsford.
Home sales in Metro Vancouver were up slightly through the month of August thanks to a fall in prices, but it was a different story in the Fraser Valley. A new report from the Greater Vancouver Realtor says overall residential sales climbed 3% last month compared to the same time last year. However, that is still close to 20% below the 10-year average. Fraser Valley home sales fell 13% in August compared to last year, despite softer prices. That puts it 36% below the 10-year average. A Surrey family whose grandfather has been missing for nearly 1 week is pleading with the public for help. His daughter says he went on his daily afternoon walk and never came home. As CTV's Isabella Zaffarisi reports, the family has spent nearly every waking minute trying to find him.
This is possible open end is the scary part about it.
Christina Morrison is referring to where this trail in Surrey leads, an open field and then the highway, a possible route her father may have ended up on when he left for a walk last week. The 76-year-old hasn't been seen since.
I've never lived more minute to minute than right now. You wake up at night and you desperately grab your phone, hoping for a message or some update that maybe somebody's seen him somewhere.
Morrison says her dad, William or Bill Hayworth, wandered down the driveway of her parents' home in Fraser Heights last Wednesday around 12:30. She says he continued south on the 16200 block of Glenwood Crescent and believes he turned right on this trail.
Never once has he strayed, never once has he caused any reason for alarm that he may not make it home.
The family, along with their friends, are canvassing the community, handing out hundreds of flyers.
We have a tremendous outpouring of friends and family that have really pitched in.
This video captured Hayworth that day. The former high school teacher is described as 5'10" and weighs 200 pounds. He was wearing a white baseball hat, blue shirt, black shorts, and white sneakers. Morrison says her father has dementia, but always knows how to get home. She's asking people to check any camera footage they may have.
We just don't have any idea what could have happened to him.
Surrey police are asking anyone with information to contact them. If the public locates Hayworth, police are encouraging them to stay with him until they arrive, as he might be disoriented. Isabella Zaffarisi, CTV News, Surrey.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre wants to scrap the temporary foreign worker program, which BC industry is slamming the idea. And
there's 2 Canada games guaranteed right now. What do you think the demand will be for those?
They're already off the wall.
A week from now, World Cup soccer tickets go on sale. Why it won't be easy to get your hands on these coveted tickets. When CTV News continues, stay with us. FIFA has released new details on how it will begin selling tickets for World Cup 2026, including the 7 matches at BC Place. There will be pre-sale lotteries, the first one starting next Wednesday. CTV's Shannon Patterson now on why you'll be competing with both fans and brokers.
In 1 week, the first pre-sale lottery for 1 million World Cup tickets will be open to Visa cardholders. Winners will be notified on September 29th and given a time slot to buy tickets, which start at $60 US for group stage matches.
Out of that 1 million tickets, realistically, do you think very many are actually planning to come to the city and go to that game?
No. I would think it'd be an opportunity to make some money for a lot of the people. you know, if you get a chance, it's like winning a lottery. I've just won the lottery. Wow. You know.
And I can resell them.
Yes, exactly.
Because reselling will be allowed, British Columbians who want to see one of the 7 matches at BC Place will be competing against fans and ticket brokers from all over the world.
There's 2 Canada games guaranteed right now. What do you think the demand will be for those?
They're already off the wall. I've got deposits already taken for people that want tickets to go. And I've told them, please don't make me commit to them to a price. But I will have tickets. And they said, okay, just put us on the list. And I said, I'll do the best I can.
If you have your heart set on watching Canada play, there is one way to secure your tickets right now. FIFA is selling hospitality venue packages for BC Place. They include tickets to all 7 of the games here, including the 2 Canada matches. There's food, drink, and gifts thrown in, but it'll cost you. The lowest price package is $20,000, and they go up from there, with the top tier one selling for a whopping $42,200.
What do you think of those prices?
If you really want to go, and this is on your bucket list, it doesn't matter what the price is, you're going to go.
Some resale sites are already offering tickets for the Canada games, even though they aren't for sale yet. Gambling these prices will net them a profit, and they can source enough seats to fulfill orders.
They've done it for years. You win some, you lose some. But when you lose big. But when you win, you can win huge. And it all depends on what teams are going to be in the groups.
The draw will be determined in December. In the meantime, locals who want to experience the World Cup in their own backyard can start entering ticket lotteries next week.
I'd give it a chance. And if they do get a ticket, call me.
Because you have a buyer.
I definitely have buyers.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
From soccer to baseball, let's go to Nat Bailey Stadium where Caroline Frolick is standing by. Caroline, it's still smoky and hazy out there, and that was a concern for the Canadians as well.
Anytime there is a special air quality statement, Mi Jung, of course, the concern is with people doing outdoor activities. The Vancouver Canadians looked into this. They took it seriously, but they have deemed that it is safe for the players to play and for the spectators to watch. So that is very good news. So if you're on the fence, anybody is on the fence about coming to the game, just come on down. Support your Vancouver Canadians taking on the Everett Aqua Sox. That's the Seattle Mariners affiliate. And I can confirm that ever since I did the 5 o'clock weather hit, that was uncomfortable. It's a nice breeze coming in now. So come on down to the Nat. But first, let's talk about the forecast. The reason why I'm here, and beginning with the doom and gloom, of course, taking it very seriously. The special air quality statement that is in place. Look at that. For much of the province, really. We've been talking about it all day. Metro Vancouver still in effect. Fraser Valley up through Whistler, central southern interior through the northeast. If you have any respiratory issues, try and limit your time outdoors. Now, if that weren't enough, we have a heat warning still in place for the north coast, including Terrace. Daytime temperatures remain in the low 30s. South Thompson region, temps continuing to approach the 35-degree mark. But let's look ahead for Metro Vancouver, shall we? The smoky conditions remain this evening into tomorrow. The above seasonal temperatures remain for now. More on that later.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
All right, so Mi Jung, as I said, it is still smoky out here, but it's pretty comfortable compared to about an hour ago. The temperatures are cooling. So if you're on the fence about coming down, just come down and support your team. It's going to be a nice night tonight.
Yeah, good to hear there's a little breeze coming in, Caroline. Thanks. We'll talk to you in a bit. Pushback from BC's restaurant industry after Pierre Poilievre said Canada should stop bringing in temporary foreign workers. And dramatic images of one of the world's most active volcanoes. What experts are saying about this latest eruption in Hawaii. That's ahead. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling for an end to the temporary foreign worker program. And as CTV's Martin McMahon reports, that has prompted a debate in this province over the program and its future here.
The principle is very simple. Canadian jobs for Canadian workers.
Claiming temporary foreign workers are making it hard for young people to find work, a call from Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to scrap the program.
And to stop issuing visas for any new temporary foreign workers coming into the country.
But multiple sectors, including the restaurant and hotel industries, are heavily reliant on temporary foreign workers, and they argue Canadians simply aren't applying for many of the positions in those areas.
A really bad policy on his part. He doesn't understand the industry. We are 20,000 people short in our industry in cooks and chefs, and there's not a hope that we have enough domestic population to satisfy that from today and years to come.
I take no issue with adjusting the levels of temporary foreign workers, changing some of the program constraints. But to suggest that we end the program is completely divorced from what's happening in the labor market across the country.
Smaller communities in BC like Terrace struggle to attract workers and are pushing back.
We here in Northwest BC, Terrace, Prince Rupert, Kitimat, believe these cuts, and if the program were to be eliminated, would disproportionately hurt rural British Columbia, and especially our little corner.
But Poilievre's proposal has supporters as well, from those who believe the program pushes down wages for everyone.
Wages is number one. Wages need to come to the forefront. I mean, whether we cancel this or not, a Liberal or a Conservative government or even an NDP government, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Ottawa's known about this for 15 years. All parties, it's been their dirty little secret.
While Cabinet is discussing the program, the Prime Minister has so far indicated he has no plans to end it. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Vancouver.
Surrey City Councillor Linda Annis has announced that she is running for mayor.
I've spent the past 7 years getting to know my community as a city councillor. I know what's on your mind, and I want you to know I'm on your side.
Annis, who is also executive director of the Metro Vancouver Crime Stoppers, was first elected to Surrey Council in 2018 and re-elected in 2022. She says her biggest priority is public safety and that she'll ensure the police transition is completed quickly. The next civic election is set for October 2026. Public libraries are more than a place to borrow books, why they are desperate for more funding from the province. Also ahead.
We taught him where to go and where not to go.
3 mini robots are part of the welcoming team at UBC, what they're doing to help students navigate the return to school. That's ahead. Streams of lava have started flowing again from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano, but it has been contained within the summit crater and hasn't threatened homes or buildings. The volcano has been erupting about once a week since last year. Yesterday, it had its 32nd episode since December. Scientists believe they are all part of the same eruption because magma has been following the same pathway to the surface. Kilauea is located on Hawaii's Big Island, about 200 kilometers south of Honolulu. Librarians across the province are sounding the alarm on the need for more funding from the province to stay afloat. Advocacy groups say BC public libraries are at a breaking point. And as CTV's Yasmin Gandam reports, the spaces fulfill many social and community services beyond the books.
For many people, a library isn't just about reading and research. It can be life-saving.
You also have folks who are struggling, who are unhoused, and who need a space to be. You also have a lot of people who just don't have anyone in their life.
Hasdiev and other public librarians say due to rising demand and rapid inflation, libraries are at a breaking point.
The challenge for libraries is that even if libraries were doing exactly the same things that they were doing 15 years ago, the money doesn't go as far. But they're actually doing more.
Carrie Lynn Gowletz is the director of the Grand Forks Public Library. She says the impact is already visible in some small communities.
Particularly Cranbrook and Creston public libraries that had to reduce their hours of operations.
The issue will be front and center at next month's Union of BC Municipalities Convention, where a special resolution will call on the province to more than double its annual funding.
Local governments are standing up and saying that libraries are essential provincial infrastructure and the province needs to do its part to fund them.
Gowletz says provincial funding was cut in 2009 to about $14 million a year and has remained stagnant since. The province tells CTV News that it provided a $45 million enhancement grant in 2023. Gowletz says that one-time funding is already running out.
It's going to be really harmful for the communities. The library is the last free public space that you can just go and be.
She says without more money, people won't be able to borrow a book from off the shelf or online. Yasmin Gandham, CTV News, Vancouver.
3 robotic ambassadors are now helping students get ready for the new school term at UBC. The trio of Kiwi bots named Gray, Kelly, and Robson began working inside the UBC bookstore. The mini fridge-sized machines, built by a San Francisco robotics company, use artificial intelligence and Rogers 5G technology to interact with people. Kelly is answering student questions, while Gray and Robson are handing out treats to make students feel welcome. The robots navigate using sensors and cameras, but they don't record any identifiable images.
It is opening a whole can of opportunities, right, for our research community to look at human-machine interaction, and also, right, not to mention machine-to-machine interactions, because these robots down the road is going to talk to each other.
UBC leaders say the robots also help make a big campus feel more welcoming, especially for new students. The Kiwi bots will be at the UBC bookstore through September. A glimpse of an elusive animal that most people have never seen will show you a couple of new Aardwolf pups. Also ahead.
Several days in a row, anyhow, I was in the park accessing picnics.
It's no picnic in Burnaby Mountain Park right now. This table was just right for a black bear that has prompted a public warning and partial closure. That's ahead. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar still trading for 72 cents to the American dollar. Oil is down, now sitting just under $64 US a barrel. Gold saw a $43 bump. On the stock market, the TSX gained 135 points and the Dow Jones lost 24 points on the day. WestJet has announced its largest ever purchase of aircraft. The Calgary-based airline is buying 67 planes from Boeing. 60 will be the 737-10 MAX narrow-body planes, and 7 will be the wide-body Dreamliner planes. Right now, WestJet has more than 190 aircraft, but this purchase will enable the airline to grow until 2034. The Dreamliner is typically used for international routes, carrying more than 300 passengers. The cost of coffee keeps climbing in Canada, and many roasters and importers are feeling the grind. According to Stats Canada, the average price of a 340-gram bag of coffee jumped by more than 20% between this June and last. Globally, prices have soared as bad weather hits large producers such as Brazil and Vietnam. A coffee business owner in Calgary says he has seen upwards of 100% price increase in the last year.
It has to be passed along. When we get hit with price increases of 50 to 100% in a matter of 6 months, this isn't something we can absorb. And it happens so quickly that many roasters still today don't know what to do or when they should put up their prices.
Experts say coffee crops damaged by drought and hail take at least a year to recover, and prices will remain high until then. On top of that, U.S. tariffs are adding extra pressure, pushing coffee prices in Canada even higher. Time now to introduce you to an elusive and nocturnal species of hyena. The Nashville Zoo has added these 2 new Aardwolf pups to its population. Zoo officials say the brother-sister pair are just 14 weeks old and were hand-reared to keep them safe. They add Aardwolves have been historically hard to breed and raise, with only a few existing in North America. And let's go back to Caroline Frolick, who's at Nat Bailey Stadium, where the Vancouver Canadians are set to play. But Caroline, everyone today talking about the smoke and how long it's going to stick around.
Keep moving, BC. Well, it's going to stick around for the next few days, at least, me, Jung. And of course, as you said, I'm here at Nat Bailey Stadium enjoying another Vancouver Canadians game. Today is RBC We Care Wednesday. All season long, RBC and the Vancouver Canadians have partnered up on Wednesdays, funny that, with a local charity. And tonight, we're featuring the Vancouver Food Runners, and I'm very, very excited to tell you a little bit more about that. But first, let's talk about the forecast, shall we? Beginning with, of course, the special air quality statement that is is in effect for much of the province, really. They're all listed there. Metro Vancouver, Fraser Valley, up through Whistler. And of course, if you have any respiratory issues, do try and limit your time outdoors. Now, if that weren't enough, we have a heat warning still in place for the North Coast, including Terrace. Daytime temperatures remain in the low 30s. South Thompson region temps continuing to approach the 35-degree mark. Now, let's take a look at the weather tracker for the Lower Mainland. And that's it, friends. That's all you have to see. Sunny and hot conditions, a little bit to cloud cover, but it's not going to be a cloudy day. Another hot, smoky one ahead. To the forecast, beginning on the North Island, Port Hardy, periods of drizzle, 17 degrees. Campbell River, Comox, hot, hazy. Hazy day ahead on the South Island. Some cloud cover in Tofino, Ucluelet, Port Alberni. Hazy and hot in Nanaimo, Gulf Islands, Victoria. Mix of sun and cloud, mid-20s. Mainly sunny on the Sunshine Coast. Powell River Seashell, highs in the mid to upper 20s. More smoky conditions on the sea to sky tomorrow. Whistler, hot, 34 degrees. Lower Mainland, another hazy, smoky day. Mainly sunny. Temperatures between 24 and 29 degrees. Humidex feels like temperatures will feel closer to 30 to 35 as you head toward the valley. So let's take a look at the 7-day. Slight drop in temperature over the weekend. Yes, some relief, friends. Some cloud cover beginning Sunday. Potential for some light showers, but no significant precipitation on the way as yet. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. And joining me now as part of RBC We Care Wednesday, my friends from Vancouver Food Runners. I have Michelle Reining and Scott Ellis, lead volunteer, executive director. Now, Scott, I want to talk to you first because I, too, volunteer with Vancouver Food Runners. What makes this organization so special?
What makes it so special is how easy it is to volunteer and participate, and an individual can make a big difference in a very short period of time. I think there's 400 of us now currently, but we can always use more volunteers. If anybody's interested, VancouverFoodRunners.com.
All right, now how easy is it, Michelle, to volunteer?
It's incredibly easy. All you have to do is download the free Vancouver Food Runners app, and then you can instantly see the food rescues that are available near you. You can claim one, and within under an hour, you can deliver almost $500 worth of groceries to a nearby nonprofit. So it's hugely impactful.
Well, thank you both for joining us. As someone who has volunteered with Vancouver Food Runners for at least the last 3 years, I can attest to how easy and satisfying it is. So check it out, VancouverFoodRunners.com. And that is it for me. Another smoky, hot day tomorrow. But come down to the ballpark. It is cooling down. I can feel a breeze. So we got that going for us. Mi-Jung?
Well, hopefully that breeze will eventually just push this haze out of the city. All right. Thank you, Caroline. A black bear that is very fond of picnics and showing no fear of humans is still on the loose on Burnaby Mountain. The city has now shut down the picnic area and is telling the public to steer clear. CTV's Sinjin Alexander reports.
Not big on social graces, with no qualms about crashing the party or helping itself, the black bear has become a regular at the lunch table.
Several days in a row, anyhow, it was in the park accessing picnics, yeah.
Spotted several times now around Burnaby Mountain, the park and neighborhood, the bear is a concern for conservation officers. They advise keeping away until it's caught.
It's certainly not a place I would want to take my family, knowing that there's a bear that's habituated to humans and showing no fear, so find another spot to go for a picnic.
A live trap has been set up after another picnic feast over the weekend, but so far the bear will not be duped. It's not clear how it became so bold. The animal may have been fed or found garbage.
We do have a number of calls in the area outside the park of bears accessing garbage as well, so it's likely the same bear where they lose all fear of humans and will approach humans literally just to get the food immediately beside them, or potentially even if someone's holding the food, it could grab the food from their hand.
Anyone who spots the hungry bear should report it and, of course, stay well out of its way. Sinjin Alexander, CTV News, Burnaby.
The official Harry Potter Forbidden Forest experience is coming to Stanley Park. We've got the details just ahead, plus book bond. Adam finds out why a mother and daughter decided to work together to co-write a romance novel. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime has advanced to the semifinals at the U.S. Open. The 25th seed defeated Alex de Minaur this afternoon. Auger-Aliassime is moving on to the Final Four at Flushing Meadows for the second time in his career. He first reached the semis in 2021. The countdown is on to the 45th annual Terry Fox Run next Sunday, September 14th. The Canada-wide event celebrates the anniversary of the Marathon of Hope. In 1980, Fox set out to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research. He ran more than 5,300 kilometers before the spread of his cancer forced him to stop near Thunder Bay. Ahead of next Sunday's run, his niece and a young cancer survivor stopped by our sister station, CP24.
It's really nice because, like, at our school we had a run on, like, every year, and, like, I do a speech, like, at the gym and stuff, and, like, I talk about it every single year.
Leah is a living example that the cancer research is working, which is exactly what Uncle Terry wanted, right? That was his whole mission when he started the Marathon of Hope, was to fundraise for cancer research, and that's what we're still doing today.
The annual Terry Fox Run has raised over $900 million for cancer research. With the Stanley Park train out of commission for the rest of the year, a new attraction is moving into the site this fall. Harry Potter, a forbidden forest experience, will open on November 7th. Visitors will be able to explore an illuminated trail filled with fantastic beasts and wizarding world moments. Vancouver is the first Canadian city slated to host the experience, which has wowed more than 2 million visitors worldwide. Tickets cost around $50 and go on sale starting next Wednesday, September the 10th. Well, I hope that they can one day bring back the train, though. That's a classic, and everyone still loves that train.
Such a bummer. This is very cool, but that train just is such an iconic symbol of Stanley Park, so hopefully they can bring that back eventually.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Craig, what's coming up tonight?
Well, we get a bunch of things, Jung. So we are tackling the Coquihalla shutdown that we're tracking right now. Wildfire has forced officials to close it between Merritt and Hope. I just spoke to the BC Wildfire Service, and they are battling the flames as we speak. We will have more on this at 11:30. Also, if you've been outside today, the air quality has been terrible. We will have an update on what the next few days will look like as wildfires burn across the province. All of this and more tonight at 11:30.
Yeah, the summer's been so great, except for this last little stretch. All right, thanks, Craig. A mother and daughter on Vancouver Island are embarking on a new chapter together as a writing team. In tonight's Sawatsky sign-off, Adam looks at the challenges the pair faced while crafting a love story and how it strengthened their bond.
Well, it was not unusual for Kathleen and Raina Lawless to be watching a rom-com that day. How the mother and daughter responded to the movie was.
We thought, that was so clever. I wish we had come up with that.
After Raina casually came up with a far better plot, Kathleen made a formal invitation.
We could create a really great romance together.
Although Kathleen was a pro who'd had more than 60 romance novels published, and Raina's job was completely unrelated to writing, she accepted the challenge.
I felt like I really had to step up and kind of bring my A game to this.
The plan was for Kathleen to write a rough draft, Raina to make it more contemporary, and then email the chapters back and forth until they were both satisfied.
It was very frustrating.
The mother and daughter worked differently. Kathleen wrote quick, Raina was contemplative, and then, after taking 9 months to finish it all, the test readers felt it was flawed.
I took it hard.
And finding the courage to take the next steps were far from easy.
It's like ripping out knitting and starting all over again.
But through rebuilding their book together, Kathleen and Raina learned to not just appreciate each other's differences, but capitalize on them.
And then the result is this product that's the best parts of both of us.
So, instead of listing both their names on the book's now published cover, they came up with one pen name, Carissa Harper. And the early feedback for Cupid Grants a Second Chance is first rate.
Multiple people saying, I couldn't put it down. I'm tired at work today because I stayed up late reading last night.
While the plot follows a TV producer who creates a reality show that reconnects people with love interests from their past, this mother and daughter are looking forward to working together again in the near future.
I feel like the luckiest mother in the world.
And we've created something neither of us could have done without the other.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
Pretty special experience if you can write something with your mother.
Exactly, it's so neat.
Okay, let's go back out to Caroline, who's at Nat Bailey Stadium. And Caroline, you're feeling that it's getting a little bit cooler for you over there, right?
Mi Jung, it's actually kind of pleasant right now, dare I say it. Yes, the smoky skies are still very much in effect and will remain through tomorrow at least. Take a look at the 7-day forecast. The smoky conditions will continue, possibly a bit of a reprieve over the weekend as temperatures drop and the cloud cover comes in. But just expect another hot, smoky day again tomorrow. But come on down to the ballpark. It's feeling kind of pleasant here.
All right, thanks a lot, Caroline. And that's all the time we have for CTV News at 6. Thanks for sharing part of your evening with us. Craig's back at 11:30 monitoring the Coquihalla Highway. We'll see what happens with that.
Absolutely, yeah. It should be a wild night.
All right, thanks, Craig. Good night.